Welcome back to Marngrook. Our next guest tonight is North Melbourne defender Robbie Tarrant. Please make him welcome. Rob, great to see you, as always, on Marngrook.
Yeah, it's good to be back on again.
Yeah, now, an interesting season for the Kangaroos this year because obviously it wasn't great in terms of a win-loss ratio, but it looks like you unearthed the next generation of some Kangaroo stars, so that must be pleasing when you look back at the season. Yeah,
it is. I guess, you know, there's probably two parts of it. You sort of want to be playing, I know there's a game on now and you want to be playing in these games, but yeah, the silver lining is that we got to unearth some kids that have been, you know, in the system for a little while and just haven't had their opportunity, and yeah, I guess they got the opportunity and took it.
Now, your coach, Brad Scott, has extended his contract. There was lots and lots of talk throughout the year that he'd be leaving the club, so the players must be pretty pumped about that he's got the confidence in the team there to stay at the club.
Well, I think he always had, well, we were always very confident that he was going to stay. We think he's a very loyal person and, you know, all the players love him. He's, you know, personally been fantastic to me and my career. So, yeah, we're pumped to have him on board. And I think the positive thing for our supporters is we've probably been in this position before a few years ago, and he's been able to take us out of it. And, you know, we've got full confidence he's going to be able to do that again.
Well, Robbie, look, great to see you on the show again, because you've been on our show before. But I just want to say well done to your career thus far, because you were rookie drafted in 2007, 10 years ago. And, you know, it's sort of taking a little while to establish yourself and get yourself in there. You had a lot of pressure because your brother played AFL, and I know what it's like to have brothers play AFL, because that's what happened to three of us. And there's pressure on you to be like them. And you know, to your credit, you've won a Sid Barker, BNF first, you know, and I'll tell you something, this year you're probably going to poll really well, so well done on a great career, and you're still only young, really.
Well, thanks for that. I do appreciate it. It's yeah, it's certainly been challenging early doors, but yeah, I guess, and just on Chris, he's probably been, you know, my biggest support through those early times as well. So yeah, I'm rapt that things have turned around personally, but you know, you've got to keep improving, and that's what, you know, this league's about. You sort of rest on what you've done and you quickly fall behind. So, yeah, that's certainly the aim into pre-season and into the next few years.
Now, Robbie, this is your first season as vice-captain. What did that mean to you, and are you hoping to be part of that leadership team next season?
Yeah, I definitely am, yeah. I sort of, yeah, I guess have grown with the role a little bit. It sort of, you know, was a really big honour, and thinking about it now the season's over, yeah, it was you know, very special, and yeah, hopefully the boys you know, vote me in again. But I was surrounded by a really good leadership group, and I think Jack Zeeble led the way throughout the whole year, and yeah, the other boys and myself just sort of tried to, you know, embrace what he was doing at the club.
Great. I watched it. G'day, Rob. I watched quite a fair bit of the Roo boys, and I watched Robbie develop over the last few years into a super player last year. Very unlucky, Robbie, not to make All-Australian at fullback. And but I reckon early on in your career you played a lot of football up forward, and I'd love to see you back up to now forward running around. You know, you're a fantastic mark and a beautiful kick. So how do you feel about that move?
Oh, mate, I try and sneak down there every week, but the message quickly comes out and says, mate, get back there. So, no, look, I'm getting more comfortable playing in the back line, but yeah, as has always been the way with Brad, he sort of, if you're a tall and you're a key position player, you can play both ends, and that's how you know, our club sort of develops their key position players.
KB, I love watching Phil Cracker go to the football. He's one of the former greats of the game. He goes and sits amongst the fans, KB. He doesn't sit up in the corporate box or the members or anywhere like that. He's got his North Melbourne jacket on. He's got his scarf on, and he loves his club. And I reckon a lot of ex-AFL players should take Phil Cracker's lead and sit with the real people, Phil.
I love it, Grant. You know why? Because they give away free pies. And I'll go with my children, and that's time out. My two beautiful daughters.
Robbie, what about all the talk about Dustin Martin going to North Melbourne? Obviously missed out there, and also a lot of talk about Josh Kelly because his dad played there as well. Are you happy as a senior player that North Melbourne's putting up its hand, making a big play, a lot of big dollars for trying to get a couple of superstars to the club?
Yeah, definitely. I think you always want to improve your list, and you know, they're obviously both quality players, and you know, we miss out on Dusty, and is what it is. And you know, I'm sure they've got you know, plan Bs and Cs in place that you know, that they'll make our list better again. But as we said before, we've got great confidence in those young kids coming through, that no matter what happens, there's a great foundation there for the future.
Were you kept in the loop at all as a senior player that we're chasing Dustin Martin, and we think, you know, he's going to bring a lot of good attributes to the club? As a senior player, were you canvassed at all?
Oh, a little bit, but not in great detail. No, it was.
You have to take a pay cut.
It is what it is. It's obviously the way the game's going is, you know, with the new agreement that we've got, that player movement's going to be a thing, and yeah, we're probably going to see a little bit more of it in the future.
There's been a lot of positives with your side this year. I don't care what anyone says, and you know, when they said you were tanking, Scotty was actually playing them young kids, and that young Demont, I'll tell you what, he's going to be a leader of your footy club. Young Simpkin, you know, he's got a lot of energy. Benny Brown's gone to another level. You know, what's the other backman that got a bit of concussion early?
Oh, we had Dan Nelson, who got concussed,
that's right. And Dean Nelson, he's just gone to another level.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Mate, there's a lot of positives for the club moving forward, especially if you can pick up some good players.
Oh, exactly. And even if we don't, it's you know, we expect that everyone's going to improve, and you know, as a senior player, we feel like we're going to improve as well. So the names you rattled off then had, you know, great years. I think Jai's one who's you know, come in and he broke his leg before he got drafted, so he didn't do much of a pre-season. And the year he's done off no pre-season is incredible. So we're really happy with how they're developing.
Now, Robbie, there's a bit of talk in the media this week about Mad Mondays, and some of the people suggesting that the people that don't finish in the top 8 shouldn't have a Mad Monday. Now, you're just talking about how you're in the leadership at the Kangaroos. Where do you stand with Mad Mondays?
We didn't have a Mad Monday. We sort of pushed it back to the Wednesday. So,
So it's a Mad Wednesday.
It's a wacky Wednesday. So yeah, look, it's important that, you know, it's, I guess, not a celebration, but the opportunity to get the boys together and just you know, have a quiet beer, and you know, we're on our best behaviour during the year, and it's probably the opportunity that you can, you know, get to know the boys on a different level.
Great answer, have a Mad Wednesday, that'll solve the problem. Robbie, it's been awesome having you on the show. Put your hands together for Robbie Tarrant, please.